How you doing?
Two.
I do have a plea for you today on Mr. Bryant.
You say Mr. Bryant?
Yes, Jason Bryant.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Bryant. Oh,
So it is actually not a second.
Your Honor, if I may, it's not a second because our investigator reached out to the county and found that the records were expunged. So,
it's still,
Your Honor, under the code, you can't use expunged records for purpose of enhancement. And we reached out to appellate to confirm that as well as other people, as well as from the AG's office, and they've all.
so what happened? Did it get dismissed?
So
Expunged?
it's a conviction that was
You still
expunged.
enhance it to a second?
We can't use
Not
the
with an
expunged records,
expunction.
Your Honor.
Technically, they shouldn't even know about it.
Yes, that's the issue. So for that reason is why we put a reduction to a first.
So if
Yes.
we could refile it as a first, but we're not allowed, like per our appellate division, we can't use it for enhancement purposes, like to upcharge to a second.
Here's the thing. You've already had one that's dismissed. You now pick up another one, right? You know, when do we say when? When do the proverbial slaps on the wrist stop? You know, how old are you now?
41.
You're 41. When do we get it? You know, do you watch the news? How many times a day do people die in Harris County because of the DWI?
Every day, all the time.
Every freaking day, every single day. And the problem here is that what I have found when we go too low on punishment with repeat offenders, I have found that they wrap their car around a pole the next week. And that's why I have an extremely hard time of taking another proverbial slap on the wrist if you've even had one dismissed. Because who's to say you've learned anything? Tell me about the facts, will you, please?
Yes, Judge. One moment, Judge. So the facts were the officers were dispatched to a major crash call, and a witness stated he arrived at the accident, observed the defendant sitting in the driver's seat of the vehicle with the engine still on, and saw the defendant get out of the vehicle and sit by a tree. The officers observed the defendant to be sitting under the tree near the vehicle and was.
Did you say there was an accident?
It was a single car accident, Judge.
He had hit a tree, and then he was being treated by HFD upon the arrival of the officers. And the defendant's vehicle had right bumper damage and windshield down and the glove box open from the accident. And that's when the officers found
Two guns.
a loaded handgun on the sidewalk and another single 9mm near the vehicle. And then the officers then observed bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcohol coming from the defendant. And the defendant was unable to walk due to the injuries from the accident. So the defendant admitted to driving, crashing the vehicle, and owning the firearm. He also admitted to consuming the alcohol. And that's when the defendant was transported to Memorial Hermann by ambulance and was unable to perform SFSTs due to the hospital visit. And a blood draw was performed.
What was the blood?
It came back at 0.153.
Did you guys enhance it to a 15 above?
No, Your Honor, we did not.
How did they even charge it as a second when you're telling them expunged?
Originally, it was charged using the expunged records because they only ran an NCIC, and for some reason it came up on NCIC when it shouldn't have. That's the issue.
Forever, for the rest of your life, you now see, even if it's expunged, people still see it. Doesn't matter, you know? In the future, going forward, what do you think is going to happen if you get pulled over and an officer looks at your record? Right. From now on, you're looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail. I'm going to tell you now, Mr. Bryant, I don't want to take this. I don't think it's fair. You know, I don't on any seconds because, you know, there has to be consequence for behavior and it's not fair. This is the last time you will get a proverbial slap on the wrist. I want you to understand that. Anytime you get pulled over, they're going to see all this. you will get taken down. All you have to do is push a button on your freaking phone. $30 to $40 on an Uber will take you anywhere you need to go. Do you understand? How much money have you paid them to represent you? How much money have you paid to represent on the first freaking DWI? And now you're back. I'm going to tell you, if you act like a child, I'm going to treat you like a child, and I'm going to put you over my knee, and I'm going to spank you like a little child. You come back here, but I'm going to do it with a ton of jail time. Do you understand?
Sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. You can never change this or undo this. Do you understand? How to plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated. I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for 1. I'm going to suspend your license for a year. Do not drive until you get a license. I am also now going to hit you with the DPS surcharge that you will be required to pay. That is a $3,000 surcharge you're going to be required to pay. You will also be required to pay the court costs, which are around $400 to $500. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to get it one way or the other, because if you don't, every $100 that you owe, you will be sitting 1 day in jail. So you can imagine on a $35,000 to $4,000 bill right now that you're going to get, how much you will sit in jail.
Sir.
I want you to understand that we will not tolerate DWIs in Harris County, and we're going to get blood one way or the other. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It's just not fair when it's so easy to find another way. You know, I like to drink. I like to drink a lot. I love my mules, really, really spicy. And I love to go out with my wife. How do you think I do it though? Right. And then I can just be towed, you know, but that's the responsible thing to do. And I hope that you really get it from now on, because God forbid you do something that you really can't walk away from. Do you understand?
Sir.
All right. Good luck. Thank you. Hi, Miss Brown. How are you? I'm sorry to see you in this circumstance. You know, you now picked up a terroristic threat, serious bodily injury. You're facing a year in jail. You know, the thing that I told all them that I'm happy that you didn't follow through. That, you know, sticks and stones, right? But words can hurt sometimes, right? As you now see, you've now picked up a new case. I don't know how we go forward now. What do we do? I don't know either. You're 19, right? Where do we go? Because you had a home to go to, but we don't know if we can put you back in the home. No way under any circumstance am I going to let you just out on the street. That's a death sentence. Because where would you go? Who are you going to be with? How are you going to eat? I can't do that. We can't just give you a PR bond. I have to know where you're going to go, who you're going to be with, so we don't set you up for failure. Do you know the phone number to that house? Have you given it to Josh? Okay. Don't say it out loud. If you can write it down, we're going to try to get in contact with them. We can call now so that we can see if they're willing to take you back, and then we'll go from there, because I don't know how we're going to go forward. I don't want to let you out on the street. Is there anyone here, do you know, for her? You've been in contact with the caseworker, social worker, or no?
There's a caseworker and then also her appointed guardian.
Have you talked to them lately?
Not since this new case.
Okay, so I guess, can we try to do that today? Let's roll it to tomorrow. Let's see, are they going to accept her back? If not, how do we go forward? I don't want to keep you here for a long time, but I don't know how to go forward at this time. So let's give it a day. Let's see what Josh can find, and then we'll bring you back, okay? All right. Sticks and stones. I'm glad that you didn't follow through. That's good. Now we have to get you to learn self-control so that you don't flip out. That's the name of the game now. All right? think about it. Okay, all right, thanks. Antonio,
Good morning, Your Honor. This is a new appointment, Sandra Dawn Stumbo. It's a 2019 case. State, apparently there's no evidence, and I guess they want to evaluate it for dismissal.
Yes, Judge. Right now, we just put in the request because at the time, I guess they didn't request the body cam and dash, so we just, yes, Judge.
Oof.
We're gonna reach out to see if we can get that within the next week or so, 2 weeks.
no, I'm not going long. I mean, this case is, if you guys didn't do it back then, hey,
Yes,
this
Judge,
case is
why
over
I
2,000 days old.
That we're gonna look, see what we do have, and we will likely be willing to dismiss after we look at it briefly.
Okay, let's set it a week.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to waive her appearance.
All right.
Come up, Ms. Stumbo. If you ever take off on me again, there are going to be so many zeros behind that bond. You're going to be looking at 59s. Do you understand? You must be back in a week so we can determine where we're going to go with this case.
Can I explain why?
Doesn't matter. You have to understand, your excuse goes in one ear, goes out the other. The only thing that matters are choices. You can either make a good choice in life or you can make the wrong choice. When you show up to court, good things happen. And when you don't, there's consequence. You're old enough to understand that. Like I said, you take off on me again, get ready, because it's going to be a long ride. Okay, Antonio, we'll see you in a week.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, bud.
Hey, Judge, I had a quick question for you also on Booker. So you said that we could reset her. She went and did a drug test today and was clear.
Great.
So I was gonna see if we could reset her out till after the new year. She'd been coming back for GED proof.
That's right. Yeah, I'm okay with
She
that.
showed me, she's called, I mean, almost a dozen different places. I mean, she's working to get into it. I think with I think it's the timing of the year. It's somewhere.
Come on, Ms. Booker.
Yeah.
But that's like a month, you know? And I want to make sure that, is she in and doing the studies or she hasn't gotten in yet?
She showed me a lot of screenshots. People are responding and we're gonna get back to you. And she's spoken with people in person.
Yeah, I spoke
So
to,
what's happening?
I spoke to Mr. Charles Jackson on the career and recovery. He
Oh,
says,
yes. Isn't that the guy that we spoke to?
She was here, you spoke to him on the phone.
Was it regarding her case or was that someone else?
I want to say hers.
So we didn't have the specific
Yeah.
last time we were here. We got the list at the end of the last set.
yeah.
Who was that with?
But he said he wasn't taking any clients until January 8th. And I,
Oh, this is a great guy. We have him. We had him on another person. And remember, I called and it wasn't her, Stephen. It was someone else. And God, who was it?
It was Connor's client.
Here, see,
Yes, right. Good job. Dan, you're the best. You're so good.
yeah,
He's a good guy. I like him.
I did speak to him.
Okay, so then if he's, okay, I'm willing to wait for you to get with Mr. Jackson.
List.
But
Okay, yeah.
get on the list. Don't mess around.
I'm not, of course.
Okay, so what did he say? What day?
He said January 8th is when he's taking new clients.
So let's set you for January 9th. I want to make sure that you get in with this guy, okay? If for some reason that day you don't get in, I'm gonna call him myself.
Okay.
So that one way we'll get, okay? But just call him back, say, hey, man, I talked to my judge is cool with it. We're gonna wait for me to get in with you guys because he knows you and he likes you.
Okay.
So that way it's more kind of, you build a rapport with this person, okay?
Thank you.
Do that and we'll wait for you to get it in and we'll get you out with that GED one way or the other. Okay? All right, thanks, Josh. All right, good job.
Okay, pause. This is the courtroom equivalent of a triple threat disaster. You've got a DWI crash, 2 guns at the scene, and a blood alcohol level over 0.15. Judges don't just see bad decisions here, they see a public safety nightmare waiting to happen. Let me ask you, if you were the judge, would you believe this guy deserves leniency, or is this the moment where consequences finally land? Comment below, I'm curious how you would rule.